Oh, I'll tell you guys one thing. Once you are homeless, I can't even talk in here. I'll tell you guys one thing. Once you are homeless, the amount of roadblocks you have to face to get out of homelessness is just like astonishing. Like, I've been homeless for like 3 months now. And one thing, I used to love Christmas because you get used to going school break and stuff like that. But like now, because I'm in the middle of applying for a place, and I I sent one updated pay stub because the four that I sent were pretty high. The pay was pretty high because I was getting 2 weeks ago, I was getting 34 hours. The week before that, I was getting 30 hours that week. And then last week, they cut it in half to 15. So I guess I can rejoice at the fact that hours are being cut because I get more time to focus on my other career path. But yeah, I could look for another job, which is what my manager suggested. She couldn't even look me in the face when she suggested that. But that's not really something I want to do. I just need one W-2 job because all the places I have to go in the daytime, they they don't really believe anything unless you work a W-2 job. They don't see anything as valuable income that they really respect like that. They don't really like treat any other form of income with the same amount of respect. So yeah, I'm still waiting for an approval. Like, you have long waiting list and you have apartment managers dragging their feet, just like, or maybe not dragging their feet, just all type of stuff that may or may not be happening to just push it, continue to push it back. Like, once you become homeless, there's like so many roadblocks, but it's just about patience because I'm just trying to save as much money as possible and make sure I have some in my official account that I use right now. So I could put several hundred into my stock portfolio and just trade with that, but I'm just trying to be disciplined, and I want to wait until I actually get a number for how much I'm going to be paying for rent before I go ahead and make a decision like that, before I start taking money out of my account. So because people are going to be like, how much money do you have to spend? My case manager that I'm meeting on the 30th, and I'm they don't really look at the account very closely, but they just generally ask me. But in case they need to look, or in case I need to show a certain amount of money that I can spend, I want to have it all in one account. So I don't want to like put it in the portfolio account where it could go up or down. Because right now it's at about $157 and some cents. Because I lost so much money after putting so much in there already. Like, I could just try and grow that slowly until it gets to like a respectable amount, because I kept on putting money in and losing more, right? There was one time where I took a loan for $1,000 and then lost all of that trading stocks. So I just have to be like more disciplined. But yeah, that's that's pretty much it, you guys. So I'm trying to get some food now. There was one day where I got egg rolls and stuff. I might upload a video about that. I hope to. But yeah, that was because today is the 27th. No, today's the 28th. Because the month started on Monday. December started on Monday. So today's the 28th, Sunday. And I have something from, I don't know what day it was. I don't even remember. Yeah, it was the one day that I worked. That they're making me work only 2 days a week now instead of like the usual four, or even five. Like, they said the hours are going to pick up, later on, but yeah. And also, this is some insider information, but there is something. I told somebody else about this. I didn't know the exact day, but there is something new. Well, something that exists at my restaurant in the past, but it's coming back tomorrow on Monday. But yeah, I believe early morning on Saturday, I had a bunch of egg rolls, and I also had some waffle fries. because I get a lot of free food when I volunteer, and I couldn't bring it back to the shelter because they don't allow me to bring free food. They don't allow me to bring food inside. So it's just like a bunch of inconveniences. I feel like a lot of times when they make a new rule, it's because the workers were dealing with an inconvenience and they wanted to make their lives easier instead of trying to make the lives of the residents easier. And one guy was sleeping in the bathroom today, and then I turned on the blow dryer and the automatic dryer. He was like, I can't even get any sleep in here because of you bum ass N words. And then he kept on cursing. And then he got out and left, but he never saw my face. I could have been like, what did you say? But in general, I just don't really respond to that. If they don't do anything like, and and you don't really want to encourage like violence in that scenario, because you can just be like, someone's someone's taking a picture. I had to step out of the way. But you could be like, you could be, if anything happens, I just tell them I'm going to call the police. Like, people don't really want to mess with a cop caller. The only time snitches really get attacked is in prison or something like that. But a guide of cats, guida de gatos. But yeah, I was looking at Haka. By the way, this is called Tagalog. There is no Filipino language. There's no language by that name. When you think of the language Filipinos speak, first off, it's called, this is what it looks like. And also, it's not called Tagalog. It's called Tagalog. Whenever I think of the word Tagalog, I think of the word tag along. Hey, I'm going to the gas station. Do you want to tag along? Or something like that. Going to the dollar store. But yeah, I'm just really trying to get my own place so I can bring my stuff back. And then, because that guy that was upset that he heard the air dryer, he was complaining about not being able to get sleep. That guy has gotten upset at people telling him to do stuff. Like, someone months ago told him, one of the workers that has a big ego himself told that guy to pick his bag up, and then he got upset. He was like, what do you want, you fucking nut? And then last Sunday, that same guy was at the bus station, and one of the workers told him to move out of the way, because he was standing somewhat in the hallway. And then he was like, I don't give a F. I make more money than you, N words. And I'm like, what? Why are you talking about that while you're at the bus station? Like you can't talk about like, oh, I make so much money, but you're waiting at the bus station. And by the way, that's an employee at the terminal. He has to tell you to get out of the way so people can move through the hallway. You can't be so irritable. Like, I don't know. It's probably likely that he's been like locked up before, and that type of attitude is just going to get someone hurt if they continue to behave in that way. But I don't know why this is sticking out. Let me remove this. It's so unsightly. But yeah, my hair's been getting awfully bushy. I ran out of my first bottle of DHT inhibitors. But yeah, I was walking here to the food place and nobody was there. It was around 1:15 or something. And then I was walking to the library and I saw that same guy that got upset in the shower, but he didn't know I was there. He didn't know I was the one behind the corner. I saw him later, because I let him complain and curse out. And then right before he walked away, he was like, bum ass, N-word. And then he walked away. So I never said anything. I just kept the dryer running. Like, he's not supposed to be sleeping in there anyway, so he's in the wrong. And like, workers are allowed to be up there after everybody else. So he was in there with his backpack laying on the cover. And I'm like, and then I walked right past him while he was with a group of guys. So it's best to just like lay low under the radar. Again, my thing ever since coming to this shelter downtown is like, I don't need to prove that I'm I don't need to prove that I'm a tough guy to anybody. So, but yeah, I just want to be able to, I spent Christmas over someone's place. I left on the 24th and did not come back until the 26th. So it's just like I want to be able to lay down and just eat whenever I want to. If I want to eat whenever I want to, I have to go outside, out here. And it's like, I just want a dignified, respectful existence, just being able to lock my door and just sit inside of somewhere and just eat whenever I want to. Because if you're inside, you have to eat only when they have the scheduled meals. If you're inside the shelter. And if you don't want to abide by that, you have to leave. And then you got people telling me I got a limited amount of time to eat before I walk through the metal detectors and all that other stuff. I already spoke about that when I was eating at night. And also when you're outside and you just want to like chill, you have to find one of those public benches. And if the weather's nice enough, a lot of them are going to be taken. Or if you're like me and you're more on the introverted side, I just don't want people like walking by, like a million people just like staring at me and stuff like that. So it can be a chore to find a place where you like if you're just trying to be alone. But yeah, if you like for example, if I was recording this video inside my own place, I could just like all the free food that I get after I volunteer, I get a whole carton. But the funny thing is, I have people at the volunteer place telling me, "Hey, there's a warehouse in the back where you can get groceries. Did you get any?" And I say no. And my story, what I tell them is that I can't pack extra groceries, but it's really because I'm homeless and there's no point taking it all with me if I have to drop it off at that front gate or if I can't even take it in with me. Like if I just had my own place refrigerator, and it's just like, that seems like such a luxury. Like I was telling somebody I've known for years, like I'm happy to just have a positive bank balance. Like the stuff is crazy. Like, and when I was, I think 2 Sundays ago, when they were showing the list of homeless individuals connected to the church who lost their lives, not a single one of them found housing because next to their name would be a star if they found housing. So, and something I had realized, something I realized only this week is that there might have been some people who actually got housing, they just didn't lose their lives. So that might have actually prevented a lot of homeless people from a premature demise. So yeah, I didn't even upload a video about that either. Those are 2 things I need to upload, like the video of me with all those like spring rolls that I had and all that food that I had to drop off. And also, secondly, the video of me inside the church, because, like, and also you won't, as far as ego is concerned, I've seen so many people, like there was one guy who had his jaw completely swollen. There was one old white man who left one day and then came back one day with a black eye, and then there was a whole nother black guy who sat down at our table, the entire left side of his face. So somebody most likely picked up a weapon or a hatchet or something and just went to town on his face, and they were holding something in their right hand. Like the left side of his face, like right above his eyebrow and his cheek, right below his eye was missing skin, like it was pink. Like the amount of homeless people that just the amount of homeless that just continue to mess with people or don't want to walk away from something. Like you think of how those people got injured, like what was it over? Like what was the argument initially like? And if you go back to that event and 30 seconds before the first punch was thrown, did you have the ability to turn around and walk away? Like in all of those cases where they got hurt, like I have to ask, like, were you defending your life? Were you defending yourself? Like, what is the issue? Like, all of these homeless people getting into conflicts. Like, somebody will either say something like what somebody said to me, but I did not respond. But then the person who said something is like super irritable. But somebody else in my position, they might be irritable as well. They might have to turn around and be like, what did you say? But the thing is, just get your own place so you don't have to deal with people making loud noise or something. And don't brag about how much money you have while you're at the bus station when the employees told him something last Sunday. Today was the incident in the bathroom where he did not see me because I stayed behind the corner and kept blow drying, even though I heard him complaining. But last Sunday, like don't go yapping on about how he was like, oh, I make more money than you broke ass whatever, about the employees when they told him to move a few inches because he was kind of in the hallway. Even if it, like, first off, you're at a bus station, so don't brag about that, and you're still living at a homeless shelter, which a lot of people would not be able to tell. And secondly, why are you taking the bus? If you have so much money, you could like rent a car for a few hundred a week, no problem. And additionally, it wouldn't even matter how much money you have because you have to abide by the policies that are set in place by the employees and the company. So, yeah, I just like to keep my head low. Like, I'm me and from my viewpoint, I'm chasing greatness. I'm just like, I'm putting the fries in the bag. If someone tells me, that's my stuff right there. That's why I'm keeping watch. If somebody tells me like, put the fries in the bag, Unc, you're washed. I got two questions. First, what size fries? And second, would you like to make that a meal? That's what I would have to ask. Yeah, that's just my life. So I'm just like trying to keep my head up and be positive until it's just time to get my own place because I don't have any evictions and they don't do credit checks. But because my credit was like this, and then it was like this, and then it went all the way down in August when I took out a bunch of loans that I couldn't pay for. And the funny thing is, I heard somebody else at the shelter talking about how they get a bunch of calls from collectors talking about, we can help you, we can help you. And he was like, how are you going to help me if you're not going to give me money? But in my head, he was talking to somebody else. All three of us were in the same dorm. In my head, I was like, well, they are trying to help you increase your credit. So, yeah. That's pretty much it. We go about it how we need to go about it. And I'm going to see what time it is right now. I've lost my... There's two people across the room. Way down over there. Okay, so we can get some food in a few minutes, and I believe my headphones are charged because I always wear them to avoid talking to people, and I don't want people to think that I'm going to bother them. Also, there was one guy that I saw at the YMCA yesterday. He has a big afro and he's kind of muscular, but he really sags his pants heavily. And I saw him today, and then I saw like the white girl who complimented my headphones. And then today I saw him walking on the street. He was on the right side, then he crossed the street in front of me, and then I walked past him, and then there was two ladies who like got behind me, I guess because they felt safer around me. Because, I mean, if you just look for a brief second, you'll see that I have like my pants are like rolled up at the cuffs, and stuff like that. Like I just look like the safer type. And then I walked past him, and then there were women who like felt comfortable enough to get behind me and stuff. And then there was women who were waiting at a stop, and I just kept my headphones in and just looked down at my phone, and then just looked straight ahead. But for a brief second, I actually did legitimately have music in. But I just saw him walk in here today as well. And he was in the homeless shelter, so I don't know what his deal is. But there was another homeless person where somebody was like, I haven't seen you in a while. And he said where he was today. And then that other man was like, no, I haven't seen you here in a while. And then he was like, he got kicked out of his woman's place. Now, that guy had come in the homeless shelter after me for a while, and then he left for a while. So that's the thing. Don't like shack up with women that you're dealing with, in my opinion, because even one of the employees said it. He was talking to another person. He was like, don't shack up with her because she gonna put you out, man. She gonna put you out. So my thing is, if nothing is in your name, like there's no guarantee that you'll be here for like the duration. So what I want is like my own place, hopefully not I guess just not really. I don't know why I'm trying to show my hand movements. I don't really want to live in a group home because somebody at the volunteer place told me that they got into that. And then I didn't really hear their conversation this week, but they were talking about something, changing locks and their stuff is missing or something like that. But I just want my own place, like my own place, like what I had for 3 years before I lost my job. And the funny thing is, I kind of miss DoorDash, like being able to go out and work whenever I want to, and all the people that I miss, all the people that I got to know for years, and just the simplicity of saying, you know what, I'm going to work from 2 until 10, and then I'm going to stop, and just being able to work as much as I want to. Only problem is I would drive so much, and the orders were slow, and I had to constantly like go to the rental car place and act as if I was not doing DoorDash because like you're not. My official statement is that I was never doing DoorDash with a rental car, but and I had to just stuff like that. And the funny thing is, during those years, I never actually went to a food pantry. I would always purchase stuff like out of pocket, like the market price, like go to Myers or something like that. But yesterday I was just sitting on the stairs thinking about that, but then I had to get up because it's like I was inside the homeless shelter, but it's just one area with doors where you walk up the stairs, you turn right, then you walk up another flight of stairs at the end of the hallway because there's only 2 floors. Then I had to hop up. I was like, I can't keep thinking, pondering and contemplating about this all day because I got to get up and I got to move forward. Only choice is to move forward, only option. So, is that paella? Is that Venezuelan cuisine? Omar Ali Boy. Recetas básicas. Escuela de cocina. 100 recetas ilustradas paso a paso. Queda Slack? But yeah, I just can't sit down and ponder on everything all day. What to do when your child is sick. Easy to read, easy to use. Fácil de leer, fácil de usar. I'm speaking like a Spanish person from Spain or an Argentinian. Argentino, lo besito, cosito, mociro, mociro, cociro. Enfermedad de Alzheimer. Also, one thing I noticed is like when I saw one Russian girl on my first day touring the YMCA. She was blonde and skinny, but she looked like really Russian. Like she was looking on her phone and her eyes were like this. Like she had her eyes were like halfway closed, but her eyebrows were raised like very posh. And she looked skinny and like curvy, the skinny curvy type. And I was like, you know what? She might be Russian, but there's like too many beautiful women for me to sit here, be learning a bunch of languages and never learn Russian. That's one thing I can't really do. I gotta learn a little. I only know a little bit. But yeah, I did my meditation and I say things like when people do good unto me, I do good unto others. When people help me, I help others. And then when I help others, others will help me and other stuff like that. I don't know why I'm so obsessive about all this stuff. There was this one video that was like, raise your hand if this is you or something. I forgot what video, but I believe I saw it on Christmas. And one of the things was like, put a finger down if it was like an AI voice, put a finger down if someone says you're not listening when you were just listening with as much attention as possible to what they were saying. It was like ADHD edition or something like that. But yeah, I just can't be over here looking at this kind of stuff. That was the guy that was in the YMCA and the one I walked past in the street. I'm going to go secure my stuff. But you don't go out beefing with anybody. Just like, Yeah, just like mind your own business and stay out the way. Because you'll either be in the ambulance or in jail. So he had just walked in there and sat down right next to me. Well, not right next to me, but on the same side I was, only a few feet away from my stuff. So yeah, good thing I kept a watchful eye. Of course, we don't want to assume, especially if nothing bad has been done. But one thing I noticed, like several months ago when he was still at the shelter, he was sitting there staring off into the distance, he was not on his phone or anything, but he was just saying, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Michael Jeffrey Jordan. I'm like, what is he talking about? And then Señor de Cielos. But there's a lot of Latinas there. There's one big booty Latina. I automatically correctly guessed that she was Venezuelan. It's like she's like a mom. She's like in her 40s most likely. But also today in the lunchroom, during lunch, there was somebody who was nodding off and high. And one of the security was like, what do you want me to do? And the lady at the front on the walkie-talkie was like, we're not going to babysit him. And then he was like, yo, you got to go. And then he quickly woke up and started eating the bread because they gave us 2 glizzies, 2 wieners, and sandwich bun. Also, I was thinking about this in the shower. Speaking of sandwiches, I just remembered this. Why ask a woman to make you a sandwich when it's something that simple? I wouldn't ask her to make me a sandwich because that's just too, like, make me some pasta linguine or make me some chicken Alfredo, but make the Alfredo sauce like dairy free and sub the chicken for tofu, please and thank you. Like that's another Señor de los Cielos. But yeah.